Hey everybody, welcome back to the Most Elite Podcast. For those of you who do wait for these videos, I want to start off with an apology here because I caught the flu like early in this month, and I've just been unable to do anything. I missed some regular work, and obviously I missed doing this. So yeah, that's my bad. I've been sick. I'm still pretty sick actually. I'm not. I'm much better. I can move around and everything. I just my voice is still messed up, and I still can't laugh without coughing violently. So that's messed up because some things are funny. Uh, yeah. So this. I mean, I'm gonna have a video for this. Quick heads up about the video for this. I recorded this like right when the game came out because at that point it was I tried to keep this video as spoiler free as possible while showing off everything you can do in the game. Obviously we're doing Jedi. This today we're doing Jedi Fallen Order, which I mean if I must say so, it's definitely it's a stellar experience. I mean if you haven't played it yet, do yourself a big favor and go and play it. And don't like just blaze through it, like really experience it because it's very good, and with its combat system it sort of demands your attention. Now you're not going to see much combat in this video because again I tried to keep it super spoiler free. I recorded this pretty much the day it came out. I didn't really do much playing because I was sick, but I did record the footage. So this video is mostly just to show you what you can do in the game. So far you've seen the running, the jumping. There's a hollow table in the middle of the ship where you can choose your planets that you go to. It acts as a cool sort of loading screen because obviously there's loading in between all of the fast traveling you're doing. But instead of just like a black screen or whatever, you're in hyperspace, so you get to go up to the front of the cockpit and look out to the hyperspace tube if you ever wanted to be a part of that, which all of us have. All of us wanted to be in a ship and see those stars sort of elongate in front of us. So that's what the clever loading screens in the game are the the hyperspace jumps, and that's really cool. And it'll load forever unless you walk forward and sit down in the chair next to the captain, which initiates the next zone, which is another cool thing. So if you want to just stare and get a cool look at the tube, which is just blue light, you can as you load between zones. So that's really nice. It's for everybody out there who makes like video game music videos and get some good footage of Bluetooth. There you go. It's forever until you sit down. So Jedi Fallen Order, what is it? It's a third-person action adventure game. I mean, there's a lot of platforming in the game, a lot of combat. I mean, you're not going to see it in this video, but there is a lot of fighting in the game, and it's very well done. I mean, think back to when this game was announced. I think the CEO of Respawn announced it. I can't be sure. The Vince Zampelli or somebody who works at Respawn was just in an audience at another event with a t-shirt and a cap, and they were talking to one of the reporters on the floor like, "Yeah, we're doing a Star Wars game. It's going to be third person. It's going to be sweet, and you play as a Jedi at Order 66." And like that was enough to get people talking. But then years went by, and we were like, "All right, well, I mean, is it going to be good?" And then we got it. So it came out. It released November, and it broke digital sales records, which doesn't surprise me because everybody buys everything digitally nowadays. I mean, GG brick and mortar stores, but what can you do? That's the future. It came out. It broke some sales records. It got everybody talking. The Reddit lit up with people's exploits with the Ogdo Bogdo, which is a monster in the very first planet of the game. And he's serious business if you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. All the graphic fidelity is great. If you're playing on a system that can run 4K, I'm sure it looks even better. Unfortunately, my TV can't, so you're just looking at standard 1080p on my screen here. You get a ton of powers in this game, and what this game does right that most games don't do right anymore is that the world of combat and the world of exploration are one world. So the powers work in both worlds because it's just one world. So everything you can do with your powers while exploring, you can do while fighting. and no game really gets that right anymore, and that's kind of messed up because when you separate the worlds like that, it creates sort of it creates exactly what it is, a separation. You want to be doing the exact thing you're doing while moving around as you are while fighting. So in this, all your force powers can be used infinitely outside of combat. You can use them as much as you want. There's no meter that drains. Inside of combat, you have a meter to manage while you are fighting. It's pretty easy to manage because swinging your sword and hitting the enemy gives you force meter back. Not a lot, but quite a bit. Once you level, there's a skill tree. You can level up how much you get back per swing. You can level up how much damage your lightsaber does. I don't know. I guess he just swings harder, like in the context. I don't even know how that level up works. Most of the level ups make sense, but that's the only one that I was like, what? Excuse me. Yeah. So there's a ton of secrets in this game. This game is a Metroidvania. Remember, a while back I did a video on Control, which, by the way, is probably my favorite game of the year, and I really hope it wins Game of the Year. It's been nominated for it, so I hope it takes it. Yeah, I did a video on Control, which was a 3D open world game like this, but it was a Metroidvania. And it was one of the coolest 3D Metroidvanias I've ever played. I mean, we've had them before with Metroid Prime and all that, but like to step away from Metroid and step away from all of that scene and create something new and make it explicitly a Metroidvania. I know that must have been hard, and it worked perfectly. Control, if you haven't played that, please go and play Control. It is fantastic. It's one of my favorite games of the year, and while playing this, I was reminded a lot of it because they share the same blood. They're Metroidvanias. You unlock powers that allow you to traverse parts of the map that you couldn't in the beginning. You unlock power-ups that help you fight. There's health power-ups hidden. There's magic power-ups hidden. Magic, it being the force in this game. There's a double jump that right, like there's parts in the map where you're like, I need a double jump right here. And yes, indeedy, there is a double jump. Like it's a classic Metroidvania. I mean, Control forego the double jump and just lets you fly, but that's still the double jump. It's still like you can't get up here without a extra jump, and you get it in the form of flying. In this, you get it in the form of just jumping twice because you're a Jedi. Man, this game offers so much. So in the video, you'll see me fight. You'll see me heal. There's healing. You unlock healing canisters all throughout your playthrough. They're stashed away. You got to find them. They're part of the secrets I was mentioning. And you get 10 in total once you have the maximum number. And you can heal during combat. You can heal outside of combat. Your health stays the same after a fight, so you want to use them. And it borrows from Souls. It borrows like one, or I guess two things. Combat is heavily inspired by Souls because enemies have tracking moves that you cannot block and must parry or dodge. And saving and resetting an area is borrowed heavily from Souls because there are meditation points in the game, basically your bonfire, where you kneel down and heal. But if you heal, it refills your force and health, but it also respawns every enemy in the area, much like Souls. Now, if you don't heal at the bonfire or the meditation point, it doesn't respawn any enemies. It just saves the game, and you can upgrade your skills and everything. So if you play well enough, like for me, I rarely ever had enemies on the screen because once I killed them the first time, that was it. I never had to heal again because not only did I have the max amount of heals, I really didn't get messed up. I mean, once you master I tell this to my friends who I got to play this. Once you master the parry, you're in good shape. You don't ever have to. You're good. You're fine. Just parry these enemies. Just parry all of them, and you'll be good to go. Even the bosses become like a dance. It's like it's really really cool once you master it. In the beginning, it might seem a little difficult if you're not used to it, but once you understand, like I did with Sekiro, like I did another Souls like Sekiro. Once you understand all the enemies' moves, and in this game, the enemies aren't too complicated, like in the actual Souls games. This is very much a Souls light, not like Souls light. Meaning it's not as punishing, and you can really get away with some stuff that you couldn't get away with in Souls games. Because they focused more on the Metroidvania aspect and the exploration aspect, which I respect because it's a Metroidvania and you're a Jedi. As anyone who watches this channel knows, I love Metroidvania games. And I know people say that the term is outdated and that we probably should stop saying it, because if you say that term to a person who's not indoctrinated into the cult of gaming, they're going to be like, well, what the hell is that? And then you got to go on a big explanation of it. And you know what? Fine. I like explaining what Metroidvanias are. I like it so much that I made a video explaining what Metroidvanias are. Go and watch it. I mean, it's something that non-gamers will hear a lot. And I say non-gamers as in like people who really just play small experiences. Like if you just like Untitled Goose Game, which I think everyone likes, but if you only like that sort of experience, that sort of 20-minute and you can beat it experience, why would I judge you? You know, that's something you like. But if you encounter me and we get into a conversation, I'm like, well, I like Control because it's a Metroidvania. And I'm like, well, what's a Metroidvania? I'll have that conversation with a stranger as to what it is and spread the love. Honestly, I'd spread the joy, my joy of knowing what a Metroidvania is for a complete stranger, because that's how much I love them. So yeah, I don't think, I mean, it's a term, sure, it's been around for a long time, but it's probably the best term to explain what these games are, the ones that share all of those common elements. People call Souls games, and no one's like, I don't know, we shouldn't call them Souls games. They're definitely Souls games, just like these games are definitely Metroidvania games. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Where do you draw the line in what you can term games and what you can't? Regardless, Jedi Fallen Order is definitely an action Metroidvania Souls-like. It combines both of the elements of the Metroidvania games and the Souls games into one super cohesive experience. There was never a time in this game where I felt like, this is a little bit overdone, or this is too much. I always felt in control of, especially combat. I mean, there's some things that'll catch you off guard for sure. But in combat, you definitely are in control. I played on the hardest difficulty. It doesn't matter. You're in control of every fight because you have all the powers. The enemies, most of them have like 2-3 attack patterns. They are not dangerous. They become dangerous when you panic. Now, I was watching my friend play, and I had them fight the Ogdo Bogdo. I feel like they lost maybe 67, 70 times until they beat it. And they beat it once they realized that the Ogdo Bogdo has 3 attacks. I told them that in the beginning of the game, but it doesn't matter if you tell somebody something. They have to learn it. I was like, the Ogdo Bogdo has 3 attacks. And I know he's like the hardest boss. That's the meme on the Reddit. He's the hardest boss in the game. He's not. He's super fun to fight. I wish we could respawn them, the legendary enemies. Unfortunately, you can't spawn there's 4 of them in the game. They're called legendary enemies. You cannot respawn them after you beat them, because they do give you quite a bit of EXP. And if you were able to respawn them, then I guess you could farm them infinitely. What I think they should do is just put an update in really quickly, patch it in that you can respawn them, and either they don't give you any EXP or they give you a muted amount where it wouldn't be worth fighting them, because they have a lot of health. But just for those of us who want to fight them again, it'd be pretty cool to fight them again. That'd be nice. But yeah, no, I mean, Jedi Fallen Order is amazing. It captures the essence of Star Wars perfectly. Like, it's set 5 years after Order 66, and for fans of Star Wars, you know that's when Palpatine did his secret plan to eradicate the Jedi by using the clone troopers, where he had them all built with a secret override rule called Order 66, where they just turned on the Jedi. He made them all see the Jedi as traitors, and they turned on them and shot them dead if they could, blew them up, ratted them out wherever they were. So this game is set 5 years after this. Your main character survives the Purge, as it's called. He survives as a child, and he spends his youth in hiding until the inciting incident of the game drags him out of hiding and into the fight. In his journey, he meets the rebels. He meets Saw Gerrera, played by Forrest Whitaker, from Star Wars Rebels and from Rogue One. He meets him. He meets tons of different races in the Star Wars canon, the Wookiees, you know, and he becomes a Jedi. Because at the beginning of the game, you're definitely a Padawan. You're definitely like low class. But as you play and as the game world forces you to evolve, it's represented not only in your ability as a player to be better than what you were when you first turned it on, but in the main character Cal Kestis's ability and his confidence. As his confidence rises, as does yours, because not when he defeats a strong enemy, you defeated a strong enemy, so you both feel good about it. You both feel like, wow, I just beat this boss who I couldn't believe or even imagine that I would beat. I can beat the next one, no problem. And the game plays a very good balance between how strong you feel and how strong the enemies of any given world you are on feel. All the stormtroopers, with the exception of the major ones, the like commanders and everything, all of them die in one hit because they're stormtroopers. They're nothing. Even they comment on how weak they are and how like, oh, I knew it was going to end this way. It's a lot. It's a lot, and I really do think that if you haven't played this game, you should play it. It doesn't. It's canon is one thing that I think is great, because not a lot of Star Wars stuff is canon anymore. You know, ever since the killing of the extended universe. So this being real is really cool. I kind of want to know what happens to this guy. You know, no spoilers or anything, because the game is still pretty fresh. I mean, it's 15 days old at this point, but or 16. Sorry to date the video, but I don't care. It's a lot. It's not even a month old, so I know a lot of people still haven't played it. So I won't spoil anything. That's why the video sort of ends where it ends, and why you didn't really see much, because again, I recorded this video when it came out just so I could have the footage. So when I was feeling better, I could just record and talk about it and still not include any spoilers, because I would hate to ruin someone's experience. But yeah, please go and pick up Jedi Fallen Order. I mean, it's worth every penny that it costs right now. If you want to wait for it to go on sale, you can, but by then you probably will have been spoiled. Sorry, that's just the way it works now. But yeah, no, this game is amazing. It came out too late to be on a list for nominations of Game of the Year, but it definitely should win some awards. Whatever awards they have, it should win it, because it's an amazing game. It's super fun. You feel attached to pretty much all the characters. The robot will probably be the one that most people feel attached to, BD1, mostly because he's cute, and cute characters for some reason they capture our attention really well. The Mandalorian is out currently, and the baby Yoda species creature, he's captured everyone's hearts, and mostly because he's like undeniably cute. So yeah, cute characters. So this robot in this game, BD1, he'll probably be the one that everybody likes the most. I personally like the Inquisitor, the second sister. She's my favorite character in this game. And I want Respawn to add skins to the game, because customizable options. You can customize your poncho or outside of your poncho, and there's tons of them. To their credit, there are a ton of colors. But no skins. I want Obi-Wan's robes, you know? I want young Obi-Wan's robe, his Padawan robes. I want to look like the second sister. I want to look like Qui-Gon Jinn. You know what I mean? Like, just give me some skins. You worked with Disney. You worked with Disney to make this game. Go ask them for some skin rights, please. Because this is an action-adventure game, you know? The game, it didn't launch with a New Game Plus. No games launched with New Game Plus anymore. What the hell is that? So since it doesn't have a New Game Plus, at least let me play, like, run around after I beat the game looking like someone else. You know, there's a point in this game where there is a skin. I won't say what, but there is a skin that you wear in this game, and it's not an option to wear after the point in the game. That's not okay. You know, I love this game, but it made the same mistakes that a lot of games make. Even Control has like 9 skins that you get in game. You don't have to buy them or anything. You earn them by doing stuff in the game. Why exactly didn't this game have that? You know? So there's downsides to it for me. It's like games that go backwards piss me off. Everybody knows that who watches this channel. I think that's a huge step backwards to not launch with a New Game Plus, because Mario on the NES has a New Game Plus when you beat the game. You know, that was in like 80, 88, 89. Where the hell is my New Game Plus with Jedi? I want more than anything to go back to the start of this game with all my powers and wreck shit, but you can't. Another thing this game didn't do that most games should be doing at this point, you cannot skip cutscenes. I've beaten this game. I got the platinum trophy. I'm not bragging. I mean, you know, some of us got to be winners, some of us got to be losers. You know, what can you do? But no, I got the platinum trophy, and I did everything. So if I start the game over, having done everything, why can't I skip the cutscenes? Why can't I skip the tutorial level? There's a tutorial level, like most games have, but unlike most games, the tutorial level in this game is actually pretty big. It's pretty built. You learn pretty much everything except saber combat on that level. You learn how to run, jump, climb, let go of ledges, grab to ledges, all of that in that first 15 minutes of the game. But you can't skip the cutscenes. If you could skip the cutscenes, it would be fine, but you can't. And you can't skip the tutorial having done it already. So there needs to be a patch upcoming, please. Let me do those things. Give me some skins. Let me skip these scenes. And then this would be a perfect game in my eyes. It's near perfect, but it's not. It's missing things, and it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. I'll let it get away with having one weapon because Jedis traditionally use a lightsaber and the Force. There you go. Those are your weapons. A lightsaber and the Force. You get multiple variations of your lightsaber. I didn't show you in the video, but you get 4 variants of the lightsaber. That's fine. And you get all your Force powers. That's fair. But no skins. With the huge history behind Star Wars, no skins. You know, I can't skip these cutscenes. Those are very big demerits for me, and I think for a lot of people. But hey, you know, that's my time this week. I do apologize again for being sick. Next video will be Death Stranding, and Jesus Christ, I'm not looking forward to doing that video. I don't even want to play to record it, to be honest. Death Stranding is not fun. It's not boring, but it's not an experience that you would. The difference between Jedi and Death Stranding are glaring. They're glaring. Anyway, next video will be Death Stranding. Thank you for stopping in this week, guys. Bye.